But goddamn, he a streaky motherfucker.
Bro, that's like some games will give me 30.
That's why we don't start.
Oh, sorry.
It's not you. It's him.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's him. All good. It wasn't. I figured the pre was interesting.
I just cursed. I didn't know.
I know.
It'd be like that sometimes.
It's too late.
We got
it's
blue
okay.
button.
It's all right.
It'd be like that.
You know, what's done is done.
Language
Can't turn
matters.
back the clock. Hands
Really
of time.
I wish we could.
But we back for another episode
Like we never left.
I wish we could.
of the Outspoken Network.
I was gonna sing the song, but I guess it's taboo, ain't it?
How far ago would you guys go back if we had the opportunity?
6th grade.
I'm glad that
No, I'd say 9th grade.
You've thought about this
You
question
thought about
before.
this before?
Yes.
And I appreciate that as well. So I'm not
grade.
alone in this.
9th grade, yeah.
Ninth grade. What about you?
Ooh, that's a great question. I probably would go back to high school. Maybe if I was to like just boop boop. I think I'm good with everything up until then, where I'm good with the mistakes, a little childishness. I'm good with all that.
I'm going back to 8th grade.
8th grade.
6th grade.
I'm feeling like you the man for a little bit.
Oh, I
Man.
was not the man. I was never the man in grade school. It
Was
wasn't
there
that way
eighth grade
until-
grade school? I guess it is all the grades.
Yeah.
I always thought
I was
grade
never
school
the
elementary
I was never the man. I was always picked on.
It was just simple.
Really?
I
I was the guy that is just like playing sports, sleeping in class. I just didn't.
Nah, that
Didn't
wasn't me,
care.
dog. That wasn't me.
I was like, hey, I do one, come into class,
I got some.
and y'all like, bro, Marcus, we just got in. I'm like, man,
I got some
look, I
things.
just.
I can see myself now stepping out of the whatever chamber or whatever that I was in. Got my list. Task number 1. Okay, bet. Hey, girl, come here.
Man,
That's
the
number
whole
one
menace
thing.
of society.
What?
It's like, yo, Eric, what happened?
Why ain't shouting?
It's like, yo,
It was just
hey,
when you
hey,
needed it.
hey, it's like, yo, girl, hey.
Hey, girl.
That
I'm
ain't
here. Nothing was good.
Where you from?
But how about your friends? Meet with
One
my
of
friends.
Look at you. I knew
Maybe
you was
we
gonna do
can
that.
be friends.
You know,
We can do this every
every
week.
weekend.
All right.
Nah,
All right with you.
I thought you were gonna bring in the chorus. I was ready.
nah.
Ooh, long.
No, go ahead, Mr. Host.
What up? We back.
Get
back.
us into it.
It's Monday night.
Monday
You
night.
already know what week is it? Is it 9? Is it week
Yeah,
nine?
we're
Yeah,
still in
week
week
9.
9.
It's
It's
not.
week 9.
Week 9.
Last game of week 9
Chargers Jets tonight.
in the
We're
Meadowlands.
definitely going to dive into that. We're also going to recap week 9 as it was. We're going to highlight the 4 marquee matchups. My bad. I'm still in your thunder. Do your thing, bro.
I was in the run.
My
I
bad.
was just.
I'm so
I
sorry.
wanted to make sure I shared the link real quick before we got started.
But
But I mean, he already said it, so I'm not going to say my what ups. He said the what ups. So big ups to all y'all for joining us again.
Switch up a little bit. Okay.
Per usual, every Monday and Thursday live doing the countdown. Monday night football countdown, Thursday night football countdown. Always love and appreciate having you guys with us. Much love and respect. Please like, share, comment.
please.
Do it all, please.
I'm on my knees. Begging.
You're right.
Man. Damn.
So we had some great interaction in our last video, which was extremely appreciated. Hoping again, if you comment, we will always interact back with you. The more comments, obviously, we feel like the better the show will be.
For sure.
So don't hesitate. If you like what we're saying, if you don't like what we're saying, if you have something directed towards a specific person, speaking of, if you don't know who we are, I'm Cordell.
Marcus.
The one and only E-Rock.
Deuce, what's good, y'all?
Yep. So you have anything?
Smart, stupid, slow, simple. Let us know.
And
Yes.
if you're trolling, I'm going to find you. Okay? I'm just putting that out there right now.
He ain't got no people in the streets like that. You don't got to worry
I
about
don't
that.
need no people
Hey,
in the
look,
streets.
Liam Neeson.
I am the people in the streets.
Google not going
You understand?
help you out. That's,
You trolling, I'm going to find you.
Hey, Google
All
Earth.
All right, we can go.
Google. I mean, you're right.
I'll
take it I guess if you crazy enough, if you really want it, Matt Barnes drove 2 hours.
Hey,
I get it. I understand.
All right, so week 9 is almost in the books. We have Chargers at Jets to finish off. I would say this has been a very up and down week 9. For me personally, I think for the league, I think we're starting to shape up a little bit of playoff implications, but not too deep as we're only halfway through the season. Honestly, we've been talking about the same 4 games since last Monday. Well, not last Monday, since Thursday. So I want to at least get on those and kind of roll with it from there. I'll start. Hell, we'll just start. Well, I'll go down the slate as the slate was on Sunday.
Okay.
I'll just go down the slate that way.
Works for me.
Chiefs Dolphins.
Starting in
Chiefs,
Frankfurt.
Dolphins at Chiefs. Yep, I'll keep it simple.
The Frankfurt
9:30
games.
9:30 start. Dolphins lose 14-21 after being down 21-0. Come back to make it a game close at the end. Guys, what were your guys' biggest takeaways coming away from that Dolphins Chiefs in Germany?
Neither team impressed me.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be honest with you. Neither team did. You had the defending champs coming in, opening drive the ball down the field, put up 7 on the board, and they basically did nothing else after that. They put up 21 in the first half. They didn't even score in the second half at all. And they got that last touchdown from their defense going into halftime. Dolphins obviously were trying to make a point. They were trying to establish their passing game early. Kudos to the Chiefs for having a sound game plan of bottling up Tyreek Hill, but walking away from that game the same way I did after Buffalo, the same way I did after the Eagles. They can't win a big one, man. They're a good team, but when the pressure's on and it's time for them to prove something, they have yet to do it. So,
And it wouldn't be all on Tua if they do. In all of even the games we talk about the Bills game last year where they beat y'all, Tua threw for $190. Last against the Chiefs, he threw for around $190, $180, $190.
Right.
It hasn't been on his shoulders where he's been that guy and marched people down the field, got his playmakers the ball. And credit to the Chiefs. I mean, they had Tyreek. They know what his weaponry is like and how unstoppable he could be. So they did a great job, like you said, taking him out the game. But we were hoping that Tua would elevate himself, and we speak on him with the Mahomeses and the Allens and the Burrows, and bring him into Lamar's, bring him into that category. He hasn't shown why he would be in that category yet. He hadn't put the team on his back and gone and do it. That's what I was looking forward to this game. He ain't do it.
Yeah, I think at this point, I would have to put the Dolphins in that realm of where the Cowboys are for me right now, where it's like, okay, we know they have a good team. We know they have impact players.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, can they win the big games? The one thing with the Cowboys is we've actually seen them win big games in Dak's tenure.
Right.
With Tua, we've seen it, against the Bills and against the Ravens a few years ago now. There were caveats to that, but they did win those. But at the end of the day, this season, they have not won any of those. So at this point, it's like, well, yeah, we know what they can do against teams that aren't good. They do what they're supposed to do. But against teams that are good, they haven't been able to do what they're supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
So at this point, they're kind of just in that tier, low tier 2, tier 3 type of team where it's just like,
We might have to worry. Probably not.
yeah, like I think that they'll be a playoff team, but it's just like once they get to the playoffs, can they make noise? It's like, are they going to be a team that people have to worry about? Oh, like we could lose to such team because they've done it before, or is it going to be, hey, like we know they can't win the big games. At the end of the day, when the pressure's on, they can't win it. Now, granted, the only caveat they have right now is they haven't faced a team that's good at home. So we'll have to see later on in the season what they are at that point. But until then, like they'll still have that, at least the road stench of like, hey, like when they're on the road against a good team, it's good for the other team.
In the playoffs, are you thinking that they're going to have a home game? Are they going to win their division and even have to figure that out?
Yeah, if they take care of business against the teams that aren't that good,
they got a tough schedule. Them and the Bills do. We're
That's what I'm
going to learn a
saying.
lot about
That's what I'm
both
saying.
teams.
I'm saying both teams still have it.
They still got the
And at the
Chiefs.
end of the
Dolphins
day-
still got the Ravens.
And at the end of the day, if it's close, the Bills have that last game at home at the Dolphins. So that would probably be the AFC.
Gotta be.
division on the line.
Yep. That's what it's looking towards right now.
How you feel about your division mates?
I mean, I was impressed that they were able to come back a little bit and make it a game. I think that it's still, and when I say impressed, I was more so impressed with I don't even know if it's more impressed with their defense or more worried about the Chiefs' offense. I don't know which way to go about it.
Right.
Like I'm like
That makes sense.
the Chiefs offense being shut out the entire second half. And I sat here and I was like, all you need is one more touchdown. And then we got to the point where I was like, okay, you just need one more field goal to put this thing away. And I've never seen a Mahomes-led team almost blow a lead, and the fact that the offense couldn't close it out.
Right.
Like, they had to rely on the defense to close it out, and I wouldn't expect that ever from a Mahomes-led team to not be able to put together one single drive to get some sort of points to alleviate all pressure.
It's only happened
and
one
shut.
other time. It's only happened one other time. That was against the Bengals in the AFC Championship.
Oh, well,
It's all about perspective when it comes to the Chiefs, because you can look at it and say, hey, they're learning how to win in different ways. Yeah. But at the same time, it's like, man, you need growth from their wide receiver core. And there was ever a game for that wide receiver core to step up and say, hey, we're here. It was yesterday.
Yeah.
Kelsey was bottled up. Kelsey was a non-factor. No one could make plays. Not MVS, not Rasheed Rice, not Sky Moore. And it's like, what else?
I also give credit to the Dolphins defensive front for getting a lot of pressure on Mahomes. Because that did play a factor because he had to run around.
And I feel like the pressure was allowed to get there because nobody was getting open.
Nah, but there
were times like that fumble. He was sitting there, and I was like, bro, I don't know what's up with your clock, but you need to do something right now at this point because nobody's getting open.
It was one thing for them not to get open, but it was another thing for them to also go up against a cornerback duo like Ramsey and Howard. Like that
is the first time
you're going up against a duo like that. Like, you probably are not going to see many occurrences where they are, creating separation and getting open and stuff like that. But that was an opportunity for that young offense, or at least that young receiver group, to take a step forward.
It started off good. Rasheed Rice, they started the ball around
in the first drive.
Yeah, the first drive, it was phenomenal. Then after that, it just went down.
So yeah, I'm definitely concerned with the Chiefs' offense because I don't believe in defense for the most part in the playoffs. Because I just feel like defense is getting cut up.
I know that
in the playoffs, they just get cut up.
I know they're winning.
The quarterbacks have gotten to a class where they can overpower.
I know they're winning in different ways, but they're beatable.
They're very beatable.
Absolutely.
But every team, and at this point, every team is beautiful.
Well, yeah, but it's different when it's the defending Super Bowl champ. When it's them, like, how often have we said that during the Andy Reid Mahomes era? Like, they're beatable. We rarely
they can go literally go
around this time.
They can go into a game in the playoffs and actually be the underdogs.
Yes,
that's where I'm at. Like, they can actually be the underdogs.
Different. Now that's different. Like, beatable,
yes,
yeah, but being the underdogs, yeah, I can see that.
Yes,
absolutely. Yeah,
that's where I'm at.
Especially if they're on the road.
Yeah,
especially if they're on the road.
But if they're underdogs, they're saying that they're beatable. If the Chiefs are underdogs,
you can say that. A definitive. Like, there have been games where they were pick-ems, and it's like, pick who you want.
If they're at home against the Ravens, who's the favorite?
I would give it like a 3-point Ravens away.
I would as well. I think that sounds about right.
That's probably what it would be, because then that if they were home, it would be an even bigger.
I don't know if I would do that.
Like a 1.5.
Because the thing is, if that's the case and the Chiefs are at home, that means they won enough games to be the 1 seed.
Yeah, because the division is soft enough for them to do so.
But still, at the end of the day, you got to go against the Dolphins. You got to go against the Bills. You got to go against. But I'm saying, you have to go against the Eagles.
Are they favored against the Bengals?
Do they play the Eagles?
Yeah.
Yeah, they do. They got the Eagles.
That's what I'm saying. So for them to have the 1 seed, that means they would have had to beat some of these teams. So I can't say that they would be an underdog at home as a 1 seed.
Well, no, hold on. Let's back up. Hold on. You can have a home game without being the 1 seed.
Right. They can get the 2.
But so the Ravens are going to be
like on wild card weekend. 3 teams
depending.
What I'm
2 through 4.
But what I'm saying is, even
what I'm saying, they said the Ravens. I expect the Ravens to be the 2 seed at worst right now. So I'm like, at this point, if they were to say Chiefs against Ravens and the Chiefs are the 1 seed, it's because the Ravens are the 2 seed.
There could be a scenario where Chiefs get the 2 seed, Ravens get the 3 seed, Ravens win their home wild card game, and then they may have to go on the road.
Who getting the 1 seed? The Jags?
No, the 1 seed. The 1 seed could be the 1 seed.
It ain't gonna be the Dolphins.
I'm just saying, like, we don't know how this gonna play because even right now, if they go, how much are they the favorite at home against the Eagles?
It's a pick'em, probably.
And what if they lose that game?
I mean, they're still number one in the AFC.
Okay.
Yeah, because they're still
7-2.
I guess the Ravens would have to lose.
3,
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
The Ravens would have to lose if they
to
lost.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So they're beatable.
The thing about the Ravens, I don't know if you.
I mean, I had the Ravens as the one
We
seed
can
regardless, so.
smooth transition
Oh,
to the
segue
Ravens
into it?
to the Seahawks. Ravens Seahawks. The Ravens blew the doors
Just
out again to an NFC playoff team, potential playoff team. Seahawks 3, Ravens 27. Lamar wasn't crazy with his arm. I mean, the team literally just Gus Edwards and the run game, and that was really how they put up
That
all
defense.
their points. Yeah, the defense shut them down, and then they literally did like a Rex Ryan ground and pound and play good defense.
Yeah.
In this game,
And
it's kind of crazy.
I didn't like. I like what I saw. When you see what they went out and got and what their game plan was for this season, I was really looking forward to seeing their receivers thrive, and they really haven't. Like Odell had a fumble in that game. Defense responded. Love seeing how their defense responded. They immediately got it back. Couple sacks on Geno. Geno looked flustered. Their defense was doing what they needed to do. I was really hoping to see the Ravens offense flourish in terms of their passing game. Lamar told me 5,000. I wanted 5,000. They hadn't even.
He's not even. I don't even know if he's going to 4.
Which
is why I always
not.
thought it was laughable. He's never even had a 4,000-yard passing game.
It's
Talk
not
about
coming,
some
bro.
5.
It's not coming, bro.
Well, but I think like the one thing with the Ravens is like we look at Lamar's numbers and they're not super crazy, but it's because they're winning games to where they're just like instead of just keep passing the ball, we're just gonna keep running it, waste clock, and win.
It'd be second and short, third and short.
There are teams who blow out teams through the air and then settle in.
But that's
run
that's not who the Ravens care to be. Like they would rather, if we're winning the game by 2 scores, they're just gonna run it at you until you stop it. And if you don't stop it, then that's just gonna be the rest of the game. They're not gonna try and throw it around the yard.
Like when I say that I like what I saw when they would get into third and short, second and shorts, they were just running the option, and you had to pick and choose. All right, am I getting Lamar? Am I getting Gus Edwards? Who getting the ball? Is it a
Or it could be an
run pass
RPO
option?
where it's just
You
like
know what I'm saying? Like just the way that they were able to just get little chunks consistently is nice to watch. But all their big plays came from just gashing runs. Gus Edwards 40 yards here, Mitchell 40-yard touchdown here. Like I was hoping that the intermediate passing game and working more play action and getting the ball vertically stretched was going to happen, and it hasn't happened.
I have to admit, man, if I was a defender and the opposition just ran for 298 yards, my feelings are hurt.
well, they punish you.
My feelings are hurt. You don't see that in the NFL. That's
Not in
college.
2023.
You see that in college. We gave up 298 yards on the ground.
Mm-hmm. To a team that was a good defense.
Just picked up Leonard
A
Williams.
good defense.
You just picked up Leonard Williams. Right. Great point. I mean,
And they just
Seattle-
did that against 2
yeah.
good defenses.
Seattle got punched in the mouth, man. You know, I have to give the Ravens their credit. Coming into the season, I was not a believer. I felt like they were going to come up short.
I thought they were going to miss the
I
playoffs.
thought they were going to miss the playoffs. I picked them to miss the playoffs. But they're looking like a true juggernaut. Now, the thing is, can they keep this up in the playoffs? Because we've seen this type of play for them during the regular season during the John Harbaugh era. But we've seen also occurrences where they get the number 1 seed and they're one and done.
I mean,
That's the thing.
Granted,
Can they keep this going?
It was one time.
But it's still
It happened. It happened, and we do have to say it happened. But
It's
Okay.
the question mark we asked
it's
about
a question.
every
It's a valid
AFC
question,
quarterback
I think,
but Mahomes and Burrow for real.
Last time we saw them in the playoffs, saw Lamar in the playoffs was
They lost in the division.
They lost in the division to the Bills,
Mhm.
right? That was God. It feels like so.
It
long.
was a while.
That's when they beat the
Passion.
Titans and then lost to y'all.
He won his first playoff game, and then he
And then
met
they
up
lost.
with the Bills in the divisional round.
Yeah.
It was an ugly game.
Because-
He got knocked out at the
Yeah.
end of the game. He got concussed. at the end, and I think that was the last time we've seen him.
But yeah,
because he's been hurt the last 2 years.
Yep.
So that was 3 playoffs ago.
Dang.
2020.
Yeah, that was 3 playoffs ago. So yeah,
Makes sense.
I mean, I think. I mean, you and me both had them in the AFC Championship.
Mm-hmm.
We said
I have in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I chose the Bills to beat them to get to the Super Bowl. So
I have Bills Ravens AFC Championship.
Yeah. So you and me have the same prediction there, but you have the Ravens, I'm assuming, right?
I don't remember what I had. I ain't gonna hold you. We have to check the tape.
Oh no,
I think I had the Bills.
To flip
I
it,
think I had the Bills.
At Bengals Dolphins.
do we still believe? Well, I didn't, but do y'all believe in Gino?
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm.
To do what?
Like, what are they like?
That's
I
the-
thought
that's the right follow-up.
I thought when people talked about it, they were going to be a team that could make some noise and actually
Yes.
go somewhere in the
They-
playoffs.
like NFC
Like to make a
Championship.
drive.
So, yes,
NFC
NFC
Championship.
So one game wipes that away.
Well, I was never a believer. That's why I asked y'all if you guys.
I'm not
believers.
taking that one game and saying they can't do anything. Like,
Yeah.
they're still a very talented team. I believe that.
And they only got.
That's why I asked. Do we believe in Gino to do what? Do we believe in Gino to get them to the playoffs? Yes. Do we believe in Gino to maybe even win a playoff game? Yes. Do we believe in Gino to steer them to a Super Bowl run?
No.
So far, I mean, it's not bad. They
Browns. Exhale.
They
A sudden stop.
Yeah.
They beat the Lions and they beat the Browns, but I don't remember. That was last week, so that was what PJ.
Yeah, that was PJ.
Yep.
All right,
But that was against the number one defense,
Yeah.
and they put up some points and some yards.
24-20.
Yeah.
So they've beaten 2 playoff potential contenders, and lost to 2 now.
So not bad.
Not bad.
But
2-2.
they haven't played San Francisco yet, so they
No,
still have an opportunity
they
to
have-
prove themselves.
It's brutal. They have 49ers, Cowboys, 49ers, Eagles.
Sheesh.
Mm.
I think I definitely think they can go 2-2 at worst.
Yeah, they can beat the
49ers.
Eagles.
I think they can split with
I
San
think-
Francisco.
49ers at Cowboys, at home against 49ers, at Cowboys, at 49ers, home against Eagles.
I think they can beat Dallas.
They can beat Dallas and they can split with the 49ers.
At Dallas?
Yes, I think they can beat
They
Dallas.
can.
Yeah.
Only because Dallas's whole thing, bro, is if they can't get turnovers, they usually don't win.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so they would have to force Gino into turnovers. I mean, essentially what the Ravens did, but that's what's possible. But
Is this another segue? Are we segueing to Cowboys Eagles off this, or
You slide right on in there.
might as well?
Well, I mean, I feel like that was very. You can sliding in there with a woman, but I mean, I digress.
you know, you're right.
I guess we're just covering all your bases.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing.
Shoot. All right. So
Gino had 30 and 11 last year. He got 9 touchdowns, 7 interceptions so far.
Yeah, he's got to tone
This
that
year.
down a little bit.
a lot of
less
quarterbacks.
yards.
I mean, he's been.
I mean, I feel like
He hadn't been
injured.
as productive.
He's been injured a little bit. He's been hit out of games, a few games. So.
I don't like that they were held to just 28 rushing yards. That's
Yeah,
Kenneth
Walker
was-
They gave
that's
up on the run
too-
game early.
That's too talented of a backfield for them to just not even have.
But I mean, that Ravens defense was.
It is.
But the Ravens were only getting field goals. Like the Seahawks were within striking distance for most of the game. They could have tried to get Kenneth the ball, and they didn't. Like he had 9 carries, and then that was about it.
They had
9
one
early
catch.
carries, and then
I think they were forced into being one-dimensional because of the score.
a little bit. I don't feel like they had to be. Like they were down 17-3 a lot of the time.
And I know that drove Pete Carroll crazy because Pete Carroll wants to run the football. And for him to sit there and watch his offense to say, hey, you know what? We're just going to chuck this thing around the yard. I know that he was sitting on that sideline just grinding his teeth a little bit. But
Hey, it's just.
All right, so Cowboys lose at Eagles 28-3.
23.
20.
Really?
Sorry, yes.
Really?
yes.
Wow, man.
That was
Hey.
my 28-3 for the day.
Hey, look.
Appreciate it.
I thought I
told
said
you.
it right.
I told you. I see it in here every day.
Said it right.
Thanks.
You can see
Thanks, buddy.
You know he's
Appreciate
sensitive.
it.
Yeah, I thought I legit thought I said 23.
I
until
did.
y'all said
I did.
23.
I thought I was
That's
actually,
at 3.
I thought I was actually going to skate by today and not see it, but great, awesome.
Man, be your own host.
Appreciate it. Be your own people.
Eagles win 28-23
Mm.
against the Cowboys
That's
in a game of truly inches.
Barely.
Of truly inches. Yeah. I was like, wow, y'all can't catch a break. where you guys step out or your knee lands where the ball is at that moment in time.
I always go back and forth between they either don't know how to win these games or they don't want to win these games. It's one or the other. Like I really Dallas. Yes, I don't understand. Like it really. Dak played a great game. He was picking up first down with his legs. He got CD the ball. CD had what 190.
191.
That's how.
CD's been going.
Especially because they can't run the ball right now.
How often have we seen them have games where CD got 200 yards and they lost?
I mean, he don't really be having 200 yards.
But I'm saying when I say, I mean when he has an exceptional game.
Yeah, I think this is the first time that he's had 150 in their loss. And this is also the first time Dak has thrown for 303 touchdowns with no picks, and they lost.
The Eagles also need to clean up their penalties. Last couple,
yes.
Both times they played the Commanders, they were giving us bunnies. We ended up in situations we didn't deserve to be in because the Eagles were making mistakes. I think they had 10 penalties against the Cowboys.
10 apiece.
Yeah, they can't keep shooting themselves in the foot. Like when they're complete and they look like a well-oiled machine, they look the most unbeatable, I guess, except for the early 49ers. I don't know if that's the 49ers we finna get now. But the Eagles look the most unbeatable when they get everything right. They love shooting themselves in the foot. Defensive pass interferences, giving them first downs, is something they're going to have to clean up going forward.
That Cowboys run game is disgusting.
Abhorrent.
It is
decrepit
hard to watch. It really is. And this is they came into the season wanting that to be the calling card for their offense. And it has yet to really do what it's supposed to do, I guess.
Tony probably getting the same yards.
I don't.
Zeke was last year per carry.
Yes, but it's because he's just not the bell cow.
He's not.
And last year was fine because it's like, okay, Zeke can take all the hits,
the tough yards,
and then it's like he can do the explosive plays.
Yep.
Well, now he got to take all the hits to where he can't get the same explosive plays, and that's the thing that they weren't banking on. So, that's
it's something that they're going to have to find some type of life with going into the playoffs because they cannot go into the playoffs just on the arm of Dak because we've seen that before and we know how that works, and that's going to be an early exit for them. They got to get this run game going, man.
The more things change, the more things stay the same.
I mean, like the thing with Dak is like we've seen that. Okay, in the playoffs he can play well, but in the next game it'll be the totally opposite. And it's like you said, in the playoffs, can't have that.
You really can't.
That's what Dak does.
It's not gonna fly.
He's not Mr. Consistent back to back. All right, we just know that in the playoffs. He can do it for one. But after that one, you just gotta know, hey, he is not due for a second one. We just have to know that.
Yeah.
So Eagles,
my leg.
They're now what 8-2,
8-1,
8-1. Are we saying after beating the Cowboys, do we believe that they are? Where would you rank them in the NFL? Eagles.
In the entire NFL, just
man. I mean, you have to just say one, just because they're 8-1. Because the one thing that you can say is if you're gonna say, okay, they're 8-1, but they haven't looked good. Cool. Chiefs are 6-2. They haven't looked good.
I would rank them ahead of the Chiefs right now.
No, but I'm saying Ravens look better.
That's who I would be.
Ravens are 7-2, but the Ravens' 2 losses are against the Steelers and the damn Colts.
But the thing about the Ravens is they've gone into the fourth quarter with the lead in every game. They blew those 2 games.
But I have to feel like, okay, if they're gonna blow those, let's say they don't blow other leads. Like it's possible because they've done it twice.
All of these teams I feel like have had question marks, but when we talk about shooting teams in the foot or teams shooting themselves in the foot, the Ravens and the Eagles are amongst those where if they are clicking and doing what they need to do, they are the only people who are going to bring it down. Same thing with the Chiefs. For sure. Coming into this season, I guess now the receivers are bringing us to question marks, but that's how I feel about the Ravens. I feel like they're 1-2, 49ers fringe 2. But I feel like the 49ers, by the end of the season, they'll be able to go through and reclaim that spot. We'll see what Brock Purdy, how he responds to this negative chatter about him. Coming off bye week, he got a little time.
People might be healthy now.
Get their pieces back. He misses weapons.
He
No,
does. He definitely does. He definitely does.
But I do think it's Eagles Ravens. Like for me,
I think
Eagles Ravens. I think Eagles number one in the NFC. Ravens number one in the.
I think it's vice versa. I think the Ravens are the best team.
I mean, I'm not opposed. I'm not opposed.
Regardless, I don't care about. I honestly don't care about the record because the record can say one thing, but you also have to view how they're winning these games. And the Eagles are winning, but they're not necessarily winning in convincing fashion.
No.
They're doing just enough to get by. The Ravens are wiping the floor with teams.
Yeah, against really good teams.
Against really good teams. It's something about the Eagles that I'm looking at right now. Yes, they're talented, but I feel like, man, if they get that right matchup in the playoffs.
And the one thing with the Eagles that we've seen
at the crib,
is like they've been so close to messing it all up. Like yesterday, they had 2 fumbles.
Yeah.
Which really could have hurt them if they didn't recover those back.
Yeah.
And I'm like, they really could have just gave away the game in the fourth quarter just like that without Dallas even having to drive the field.
You didn't even put away the Dolphins.
Yeah.
You let the Dolphins stay around.
So it's definitely a thing where the Eagles have not done so. You know, they still won the game. But just because of their record and who they've beaten, I'll put them at number one until they start losing.
I might go Ravens, Eagles, Bengals, Niners, Chiefs.
Bengals.
Ravens.
The Bengals beat the
Ravens,
Niners.
Eagles, Bengals, Niners, Chiefs.
Even the Chiefs might feel a little high, which is kind of crazy, but I think that's my 5.
Did Stephen A. leave the Chiefs off his top 5 last week? It was last week, right?
Probably.
It was last week.
Possibly so.
No, he had him at 5. He left out the Jaguars.
Oh yeah, that was giving him crap for the Jags.
Yeah.
Who did the Jags lose last week? I know they did buy this.
Nobody buys the Jags.
Nobody.
Nobody. Why?
Because they feel like they haven't played anybody.
Well, you put the Jags in your top 5.
They're not in my top 5.
Oh,
but I mean,
well, that's what we're saying. That's what I mean. Like nobody buys them to put them in the top 5. No
matter
top
5.
No matter their record.
They're a playoff team.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
Oh, for sure. But then AFC South.
No, I'm talking about like they can. I think they can.
The aesthetic of a playoff team. I understand what you're saying.
I think they can get. They can
get a playoff team by default. But I know where he was going.
I think they could, depending on matchup. Yeah,
a win or 2 would put them in the championship. Right?
I said what I said.
Am I right?
Yeah.
Wild card.
I said what I said.
Divisional championship, right? Okay.
I said what I said. I think right now, I think they can. Depending on matchup, I honestly feel like they can hang with the Chiefs.
I mean, they did last time. They just lost.
Exactly.
But they were at home that time.
The Jaguars look the same every time they play.
They can hang.
It's kind of like they within like a touchdown.
They can hang with the Browns.
Bengals?
I think they can hang with the Dolphins. I think they can beat the Dolphins.
Yeah, they could.
I definitely think they can hang with the Bills too.
I don't think they'll be favorites against the Dolphins, but I think they can beat the Dolphins.
Like,
depending on matchup, I think they can.
Hanging with them. What does that mean?
Like they can win. To me, they can win.
But
there are tiers. I'm not saying the Commanders hang with people, but like
no, that's different.
That's what I'm saying. That's why you got to make sure
they can actually. But they can win. Like they can.
Like,
win.
do we feel like
hanging
a chance to
in
win?
Yes,
I guess so.
Sure.
Yes.
Great.
I mean, I think that the Jags, like, I'd have. Do I think they could beat the Ravens? No. Do I think they could beat the Chiefs? No. Okay. Do I think they could beat the Bengals? No.
They can't beat.
They already beat the Bills.
They probably won't beat. So what you're saying really is it has to be against the AFC East. You don't think they beat anybody from the West or the North. So their opponent would have to come.
Not anybody, but the top teams in those.
Yeah, that's if you're the wild card, you're going to have to face the top team of the North or the West.
Well, no, you don't, because they win their division.
If the Ravens win the division, the Bengals going to be the fifth.
If they win their division, then they get to face the wild card team.
Yeah, yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like they could win against the other teams. Mm-hmm. I don't see them beating anyone in the divisional, but I think they could win a wild card.
card.
But the wild card are probably gonna play either the Bengals or the Ravens.
Right now,
And that's what
if the playoffs
Well, it
started,
depends on who they get matched up with.
if the playoffs started today, they got a home game against the Browns. Y'all don't think they can win that?
Yeah.
I'm cool with you with one game. I don't know if they can win
You
one
said,
or
you said
two.
two. Yeah.
I was like, I don't see.
That's why I'm like, I'm up on
championship.
2, but I'm good.
I'm
with 1.
cool with 1. Yeah, they did that last year.
Yeah.
They did that
So
last
yeah,
year.
I'm
They were
down.
underdogs, so.
They sure were.
So I'm definitely there for that.
Come back. That boy Herbert.
Speaking of AFC playoff pictures, might as well go ahead. Big implications here.
Oh, hell.
Sunday night football.
Man, where's Steve at? I need to talk to Steve. Where's Steve?
Let me send him the link.
I need
don't know.
Steve.
He already got the link.
He got the link?
Yeah, I send it to him every show.
Oh, beautiful.
I tried to
Steve.
tell him, man. He didn't want to believe me.
Bills lose Sunday night football 18 to Bengals 24.
Y'all all hate
I
us.
believe I did last week say emphatically that the Bengals are.
He did say
Oh, you did with
He did all week.
He expressed
All week.
They're back.
that sentiment, and I believed him.
Joey B is Joey B, man.
Still ain't being the Raiders, though.
Did we
but
all
they are
pick the
back.
Bengals to win?
No.
Oh,
Nah.
I mean, I told you I had head and heart.
Yeah, he went hard.
I went with heart. I went with pride.
That's
That's
I wanted them to win for
a true
pride.
fan shit.
I wanted them to
Absolutely.
win for pride's sake.
Even
Doing it
though
for
if they
Stevie.
face each other in the next matchup, they definitely would have been underdogs. But that's okay.
I feel better about playing them again, though. But
I was thinking about you talking about the Bills brand and what that win would have done. It really it'll matter for playoff picture, sure, but regardless of where y'all at, y'all understand what's at stake in the playoffs in terms of y'all's brand and trying to reverse that. You need to go win the Super Bowl. It's not going to be enough to get to the Super Bowl when you lose 4 straight Super Bowls, and that's what people know you as. So in the grand scheme of things, does this mean a lot? Not really. Like, if it ends up being the difference in y'all making the playoffs or not, that's really the only implication. I feel like regardless of where y'all are at, y'all know what's at stake, and hopefully y'all show up. But in terms of the game, y'all had moments late, like when y'all was down by 11? It was 21-10.
It's 21-7.
21-7. You knew, all right, gotta go ahead, go score. 3 and out. Go ahead, go score. Josh interception. Like it would have been encouraging to see y'all's offense go ahead and get down the field. But I'll let you break down what you feel was the issue. But I was hoping I would see that.
I think the one thing with the Bengals that they got the Bills on is, for one, y'all didn't run the ball well. For 2, I think that once it got to a point where they were like, hey, we're going to bottle up Diggs. Kincaid did what he had to do, but none of the other receivers did anything that they needed to do. So it got to a point where it's just like, well, as long as you stop the explosive plays and you make them go down the field, especially with a good defense, they can be had and they can be stopped.
Making Josh
Granted, they had, Josh the interception, and then the Kincaid fumble really just kind of dampened things down. But at the end of the day, it's like it was hard for the offense to consistently keep going, especially when the Bengals were able to get pressure and there's nobody getting open within 4 or 5 seconds. Yep. It's like at that point, it's like you can't expect Josh to be Superman every play. It's just not going to happen. And when you limited Josh to being Superman for most of the game, you stifle the offense when the running game isn't going. And that's kind of been what it was in the playoffs last year, and it was what this game was this year, is as long as they stop Josh from being Superman and they don't have a running game to go to or someone else in the receiving core to make explosive plays, you just kind of get stuck with what they got. Defense played okay, though.
They played okay. I was impressed with the Bengals limiting that very deep and talented Bills defensive line to just 1 sack. They were able to get some hits on Burrow, but it wasn't. I've seen this Bills defensive line at its peak, and it can wreck games completely. They were not allowed to do that last night.
Joe Burrow got some wiggle too. He be getting up out of there.
He's healthy.
Yeah, that's
healthy.
That's one of the things of
that's the difference
with that is, but in those first 3-4 games, he was just a pocket guy, but now he's able to move around and scramble. That's what's made him Joe Burrow, is he can extend plays, especially with the receivers that they have. You can't hold them forever. It's just not happening. So
so they were also able to find a way to win without, Jamar Chase being, a huge factor in that game, and got to tip the cap to the Bills to, having him bottled up and having him pretty much, I don't want to say non-existent, but he was not able to really beat Jamar Chase.
He took a hard fall too at some point in the game.
Yeah.
Dane undercut him. Was that third quarter?
No. It was the fourth quarter. The 2-point conversion.
Yeah.
Also, I was thinking about it differently. I was thinking about a deep ball where Dane kind of ran up under him. He landed on his back. Bow. I want to say, I think it was the third quarter. Cordell, you got photographic memory.
Are you? You're talking about when
Jamar got
Chase went down? That was the second half. He wasn't dealing with it all game.
Do credit to y'all's defense though. Yeah, y'all made plays. Y'all had to.
My only beef with the defense is that throughout the entire season, they have shown that it takes, depending on the level of difficulty of who they're playing, it takes them either one drive that they give up to open or 2 drives. Every time. Whether it was against y'all, whether it's against the Raiders, they go down the first drive, they score, then after that, they clamp it up, it's over. Against Miami, took 2 drives that they let them go down, and then after that, they shut it down. And I was like, same thing with the Bengals game. As soon as they went down and scored the first one, I said, all right, I give the Bills defense 3 drives to get themselves together.
I think Bengals got 2.
They got 2 touchdowns, and then they didn't score again until fourth quarter. All right, so I was like, all right, like you got the defense. To me, I felt did everything that they needed to do for them to win this game, and that's including the injuries that I didn't even know about. Terrell Bernard was out early in the second quarter, and then Benford didn't come back. Christian Benford didn't come back after halftime. He was out. Didn't know that either. And then
on the corner,
Dane Jackson and Micah Hyde went down in the fourth quarter to the point where our starting corners going into the last couple drives was
Josh Norman
and Rasul Douglas. Those were our 2 starting corners at one point with Taylor Rapp and Jordan Poyer. Yeah, that was, and they did all they could do with that card being dealt. So I'm not going to sit here. To me, that's why I said I feel a little bit more confident, because I feel like the defense played better this time around than they played in the postseason last year. I felt like in the postseason, they had no answers. They weren't stopping them at all. No resistance. And this one, I was like, okay, I at least see resistance and giving the opportunity for the offense. And then on the offensive side, it's the same crap. Gabe Davis, 0 receptions for 0 yards, a non-factor completely. Shakir, he did a little bit, nothing too crazy. And then obviously you have Diggs, who had I think it was 6 receptions off 7 targets, or 7 receptions off 8 targets, something like that. And Dalton Kincaid, 11 targets, 10 receptions. I think that if he doesn't fumble that ball, I feel like the game could have turned around. Because you're already in
right there.
You're in red zone.
Red zone. And it's 21-10.
Yeah, so I'm like, you get that touchdown. Was it 21-10 or was it 21-18?
Not even 21-10. Y'all scored in the fourth quarter. And it was 24.
Both of those were in the fourth quarter.
No, but this is at the end. Remember, y'all scored with like 3 minutes left. Or
it
so.
was 21-10 going into the fourth.
Yeah, so then it was 21-10 when they had the fumble.
Was it? I feel like
I think it was. Cause I don't
21-7 going into the half.
Well, I think it was 21-10.
Let's see.
When he fumbled.
Dalton fumbled when it was 21-10.
Yeah.
It was 9 seconds left. No. Oh, going into the fourth.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, and then the next drive, and that gives them the field goal, and then the Bills go down and score, put it 18-24. So yeah.
Yeah.
So to me,
that could have changed.
That could have changed
1-score game already.
right there. And then who knows if they go and get that field goal because obviously that turnover doesn't happen.
Mhm.
So to me, I think the 2 turnovers are costly. I mean, I understand that right now interceptions seem to be running high in the league. I don't know why, but it seems like everybody's got them,
because
and a lot of them.
defenses are winning this year.
Well, look. So one of the things that I was thinking about is like how many sacks and how many pressures it seems to have been this year. It seems like it's been a lot.
A lot. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
offensive lines are kind of getting
Everybody's
like they're getting that
offensive
work.
line is getting
Like
beat up.
I don't know what it is with defensive lines right now, but
Defense as a
becoming more
whole.
athletic.
we need
Yeah,
new
like,
security.
it's defenses as a whole, man. Like it's just they've been playing some really good football this year. Man.
Like
you see a lot of good offenses are just bottled up.
you're not going to see the defenses back of the early 2000s or back in the day where it's like they're holding guys to 6 points a game. Like you're not going to see that, but what you are seeing is they're going to get to the quarterback because we're throwing the ball way more. They're going to get to the quarterback. They're going to force those turnovers, and that's what's been really key for these defenses.
It's changed the type of athlete that people are looking for too. You want your Isaiah Simmons, your lengthy 6'4" can move type dudes. The Commanders tried that with Jamin, hadn't really worked out, but they want the speed, being able to cover sideline.
I mean, but
you're starting to see the change.
But look at it now. I mean, you see defenses now are resorting to more 2 linebacker looks, and that nickel corner is technically your 3rd linebacker, or teams are going to 3 safety looks now. I mean, that Buffalo plays that a decent amount. Now.
We're forced into that because of Milano.
Yeah, but still, you're.
But it's worked.
It's worked, right?
No, it has.
So
Seahawks do that with Jamal Adams, bringing him down.
Yeah. So defenses are picking up on offenses now, and it's changing the game a little bit. We'll see if this is something that's going to actually be a staple in the NFL from here on out.
I mean, it's good for the defense, even though they still be calling some BS calls or roughing the passer.
Yo,
always like
we had the conversation on Sunday, before the game started. Me and E-Rob, and
Carolina.
We really feel like they should just add a 3rd challenge and make all calls,
make
everything reviewable.
I wouldn't be opposed.
Absolutely.
There was a really bad roughing the passer that they called in the Commanders-Patriots game on Mac Jones. It was just a regular tackle.
Yeah,
and then you saw that in the Bengals game with the Bills because I do not think Tim Settle roughed the passer.
Yeah. It's like we all saw with the Falcons last year. Tom Brady over here just getting slung roughing the passer. Like, bro, what? How else you supposed to? You gotta lay him down, read him a bedtime story.
Rock him,
man.
Hey, I got him.
Gentle in football don't go
I
together.
guess you just gotta wrap your arms around him and say he's sacked. I got him. I got him.
Act like it's paintball.
Right.
You run up to the rock.
Right.
Surrender.
Yeah.
You don't gotta bust them.
And also
in the face.
the intentional grounding.
No. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I was about
The
to.
Bills' intentional grounding, like that.
But
That to me was
Yeah,
that was crazy.
It's tough because
It
we
was
know
critical.
what a choice route is, and we understand what that could look like if it happens. He clearly wasn't under duress.
Communication,
Miscommunication.
yeah,
I agree with you there.
and that's gonna be like if he was under duress and he just chucked that thing, that's one thing. But he still had time in the pocket. He clearly made his decision with time. This is where I'm going with this ball. Oh, we'd have a disconnect. Intentional grounding, loss of down 10 yards out of field goal
I
range.
say it all the time, and I want those who are listening to pay attention as well. When you're watching a game and there's a questionable call, and there's a rule, because there's a rule analyst in every game now.
Mm-hmm.
Watch how many times the rule analyst goes against the actual call on the field.
yeah, they do.
It happens so often, and I'm sitting there thinking like, man, how often am I hearing, Dean Blandino say, yeah, they got that one wrong.
Mhm.
You're the head of officiating.
Do something about it.
Do something about it, right?
Come on now. If anybody should see,
I'm not blaming the loss on the refs.
No.
I'm just saying.
Like
those
multiple
calls,
games.
look, like, there would be calls. There would be calls that I can understand that. Hey, it's bang bang, and it's like it's too close to call, and the rules official, like our analyst, he can see it because it's in slow mo. Cool.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, cool. Like you saw it in a better view than what the
Right.
officials might have had.
Yeah.
But there are certain calls where I'm just like, bro, I don't even know what you were looking at because I saw the same thing and I didn't see that. So I'm like,
At the same time, just like you said, you have someone who can watch it in slow motion and make the right call. You can do that every time.
no,
if you want to. Like you can have somebody. It's quick enough to where when they're doing their little huddle on the field, somebody can be in their ear. Hey, yo, bro, pick up the flag. That's it. In that little 12 to 15 seconds. It don't
It's too
take
many
long.
flags that are thrown that if you had to do that for everyone,
And that's why it's just better to let all calls be reviewable because let the coaches dictate what they want reviewed instead of having everybody.
That's a good compromise.
yeah.
I'm saying they have the bandwidth to do
Like,
that
other
where
than-
it wouldn't make the game any slower.
Because
Other than
these
personal fouls,
these
I mean,
pass
I don't know.
interference calls as well are just what do you? Not only that, but I watched DeAndre Hopkins commit a felony the last 2 weeks with OPI and then not get called. He's putting DBs in a headlock,
you know, they don't like.
and then they're not throwing the flag.
Call it on Mike Evans though. Push him on the back.
Right? They'll call that, but
Mike Evans tough though.
he
Still holding it down.
He
I
damn
always
near
doubt that man.
DDT Joey Porter last week, and then no flag came out. I'm like, bro, what's going on?
All right. Well, I don't know what the outlook's going to be for the Bills. I mean, everybody's very popular in saying that they're the ninth seed right now, looking in.
Where do you rank them in terms of NFL teams? Where are they on your list?
In terms of NFL teams,
Yeah,
In the AFC, like
You
where are y'all in the
AFC?
AFC? Because in the standings, y'all are ninth. But where do you see y'all among?
Right now, the Steelers ahead of y'all rank us.
Yeah,
These
record wise.
record, yeah.
Record wise, Browns are, Jets are.
All right, so I'll already tell you that I absolutely have them better than the Steelers.
I think that
I will.
I don't have much pushback for that.
It's not much of a surprise.
Okay. All right, there we go. I can see all the teams now. So right now, where would the Bills be? One in the AFC, right?
Yep, just in the
1, 2,
AFC.
3.
Panthers Bears Thursday night. Oh Jesus.
But the
Terrible
league,
game.
the league is putting us through that, and
They can't flex it.
they can't. What the hell?
I would put it. I would say 5.
Five.
5.
In the
In
AFC.
the AFC,
Yes.
the four are
Chiefs, Ravens, Jags.
Chiefs, Ravens.
Chiefs, Ravens, Jags.
you have the Jags right there.
Bengals.
And Bengals. Sorry, I was like, "Where's my 4th team there?" Because they're so far down on the
Chiefs,
standings.
Ravens, Jags, and Bengals.
Yes,
Okay.
and that's where I would.
And then Bills at the 5.
Okay.
Chiefs, Ravens, Jags, and Bengals.
So in theory, you think y'all winning your division?
Half a game back. Would have been lovely to have won this game.
I mean, what if y'all just
Half a
stay half a game back?
I don't believe so
All
because
season.
I think that they're gonna lose some more big games. The Dolphins.
Well, they don't.
But y'all could too.
I mean, we could.
That's
but
what they showed us
that's-
before.
I didn't say I didn't say we couldn't, but I'm just saying I know that the Dolphins still have more to lose. So it's just about them taking advantage of it. You were gonna say something, you're up.
No, I was just saying that they. I mean, in terms of big games for the Dolphins, they don't really outside of Cowboys and Ravens. And you
Cowboys,
guys,
Ravens, and us, yeah.
they really don't
That
have.
should be it, right?
They really don't have any other games where they're going to be tested,
Yeah.
in my opinion. So they
Cowboys, yeah. Jets. Jets.
Yeah, the Jets
may.
twice.
They do have
I
to
feel
go.
like
They
they
do
gonna-
have to.
They gonna drop
They're
it.
going
They gonna
to split
get
that.
They're dropping one.
They're going to split that.
Yeah, they're going.
They're going to split that. They're going to run into that what you've been illustrating all season about marquee quarterbacks going into MetLife, and they come out, with a black eye, some stitches,
They
and
come like
on crutches.
They like, what happened to
But I
you?
ran into the Jets defense, man.
Man.
That Jets defense ain't no joke, man.
Hey, look, they might got Zach Wilson
got-
on the other
man, you
side.
got-
Them
you got
boys right there.
Quarterbacks are like, man, look, bro. Let me tell you about that Jets defense, dog. You gotta. I feel like I really feel like, yeah, right. I feel like Herbert gonna be like, hey, man. His voice gonna get all deep, like, hey, man, look,
Not gonna have the best support.
that Jets defense, man, and that thing
They
real.
play the
You look
Jets.
excited right now.
They play the Jets in 2 weeks.
Black Friday, right?
At Jets.
That's the Black
At
Friday.
Jets.
That's the Black Friday game.
Yes.
That's on Prime.
Which,
Yeah.
that's ironic. It's actually pretty ironic because the Jets and Chargers play tonight, and the Jets play Miami, and the Bills play the Chargers on Black Friday.
And the Dolphins beat the Chargers.
That's in LA.
week 1.
So, but
Trap game
so yeah,
against the
so
Commanders
for
on the third.
the Dolphins, the way that it's looking for them for the playoff outlook, they have Raiders next week or this week coming up. Then at Jets, then at Commanders versus Titans versus Jets again, Cowboys at Ravens versus Bills. To end it off.
Cowboys, Ravens, Bills, 3 consecutive weeks.
To end the season. Jets, Cowboys, Ravens, Bills.
They play the Jets at home, then Cowboys away.
So what if they go 0-3?
They go
I mean,
0-3,
they
then
went
the Bills win
0-3.
the division.
Do they?
So right now, 6-3.
Well, actually, yeah. Actually, if they went 0-3,
What if they go 0-3?
If they beat the team they're supposed to in the Titans, Commanders, and Raiders, and lose the rest of the games, they'd be 9-8. They have to split the Jets, and they'll be 10-7. They can lose the rest of the games.
9-8.
If they split with the Jets and beat the teams who they're supposed to, they'd be 10-7, and they could. And that's with losing to the Bills, Ravens, and Cowboys.
10-7. Yeah, 10-7. So,
But even
They'll make close with that.
even if that, but you're at that point, you're limping into the playoffs.
So let's look at the first
Your
one.
confidence boost.
Yeah, exactly. Even metaphorically, you're going into the playoffs
Damn.
thinking, who are we?
Do you guys still have 2 teams coming out of the East?
Yes.
2 teams coming out of the West?
No.
no. Why?
I never believed in the Chargers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I did last year.
Somebody believed in the Broncos.
Hey, man. That was I.
Put this man in
Jail. My bad. Hashtag my bad.
We forgive you.
AFC
Hashtag
AFC South.
One.
Oh, yeah. Just
Still just one.
What other
you
team?
believe in Mike Vrabel?
No, you think he believe it. He believe in Stroud.
I'm having questions about both. I'm having questions about all 3 teams, honestly. I'm having questions about the Colts. I'm having questions about
Like, can they make it?
Can they make it?
Nah.
I'm having questions about the Colts, Texans, and Jags.
No.
Nope.
Minshew Mania?
I'm not saying all 3 would.
No,
I'm saying
not
I'm
none.
not
I don't
saying-
think
no,
none.
no,
I
no.
don't think none of those teams will.
Well, you're just saying.
If there's a team that could, I think it might be the Texans. The Texans, I'm not going. I wouldn't put my money on it. I wouldn't bet on it.
So, but nobody here thinks I don't remember if one of you brought it up. I feel like it was maybe one of you two.
Per game?
That all 4 from the North.
I said it's a possibility.
No,
I
I
three
say that
from the
all
North.
4 are in right now, but I think it's only 3 that make it.
I said before the season that I don't think people realize that there actually is a possibility that all 4 teams could at least go 10-7
That is.
in that division.
All they gotta do is beat everybody else and then beat up on
That's
each other.
it. That's all they have to do. It's mathematically, it's still playing out that way. All 4 teams. That's not saying all 4 will make the playoffs,
Yeah.
but that's just saying that could be one of those rare
They're all in
occurrences
contention.
where all 4 teams have winning seasons in the division.
Mhm.
It's possible.
I was just going to say
I mean, technically, they're all 5-3 or worse.
Yeah.
I mean, or better. 5
Or
and
better,
3
yeah.
the Texans slip if they beat up. They still got 4 games in their division. They got to play the Titans twice and the Jags at home, the Colts on the road to end the season. And they got the Cardinals, the Broncos. They got beatable teams on their schedule. So you're not wrong where they have a chance. They would have to beat probably either the Bengals, the Jets, or the Browns.
I mean,
Those are
technically,
the toughest teams up on their schedule.
Technically,
And the
right
Jaguars.
now, if the playoffs started today, the entire AFC North
Yeah.
is in.
That's why I was asking
The
question.
Steelers have the 5 seed, the Browns have the 6 seed, and the Bengals have the 7 seed.
That's crazy. Bengals at the 7th seed.
That is
And
not crazy.
they look the most dangerous, or they're peaking at the right time, but
Yeah.
they're still like
Because they lost to the
you're still in last place in your division. Technically,
It's crazy. It's crazy. They're 0-3. All the teams they lost to is in their division.
Mhm. Yep, they started off 0-3. Yeah,
That's
That's why you're saying more
That's why I was
impactful
saying that they
than-
needed to have this win against the Bills because if they dropped, what would they be 4-4?
Yeah.
They've been
4-4. With no AFC wins, that's not looking good. Even though I still don't believe in the Steelers, but I mean, that's
It
another
can't be
important
sustainable.
number.
There's no way.
Y'all say
It
that
can't be
until they get to
sustainable.
10-7.
I had so much hope
10-7
for the Steelers, man. I just
There's still hope.
George Pickens can't be out here getting negative
So,
1 yard receiving.
All right,
It's
let's
not gonna work.
get into our studs and duds for this week before we go into Monday Night Football. Who want to take lead here?
Well, I'll just take the lead. Stud, CJ Stroud.
Okay.
Almost 500 yards, 5 touchdowns.
Different.
It's going super crazy.
Guy.
You know, and unfortunately the dud, man, and it's sad. I don't want to do this.
Hell.
I like them.
Do you?
I don't love them, but I like them.
All right. Appreciate your honesty.
I gotta go with the Seahawks defense because boy, them boys gotta work. I mean, I had them on fantasy. Wasn't good.
That's nasty.
I don't know why you would do that.
That is gross.
Yeah.
You started them against you. So okay, please tell me you had no other options.
Yeah, my other defense is on a bye week, so
And you couldn't pick up nobody else?
I didn't want to drop
Drop
him.
him. Yeah, so he didn't want to drop the defense.
I just, I just had to take it, and I just had to. Hope
when this show is over, I need to see your team because I want to see if there's one player on there that I know you could drop at least for 1 week.
Nah, man.
Okay. All right.
I couldn't do it. So
right.
that's fine.
You say something.
My stud this week is T. Higgins. Watching him create separation and make strong hands catches. He always catching the ball here and just holding it out there. He's holding it like a cookie jar. It's beautiful to watch him use that 6'4", understanding that he has a frame that not most wide receivers have. The versatility, he got some wiggle. And he came through a lot of the times in third down against the Bills, putting the Bengals in good situations. He would be my stud for the week. My dud probably it got to be Bryce Young. You can't have 2 pick sixes, let alone to the same dude. That's kind of crazy. And especially seeing how CJ Stroud is playing, having rookie records with yards and touchdowns, and you throwing 2 pick sixes, 3 total interceptions on the same Sunday. It's not a good look. So I don't know. It's too early to tell if it's just the protection, if it's coaching, whatever.
I mean, he's having a regular rookie year. CJ Stroud is having a off the chart rookie
the
year.
optics.
Yeah, the optics aren't good, but he's having a regular rookie year. Like he still has more touchdowns than interceptions.
Well, he's still my dud.
My stud is Antonio Pierce. Coming in as
head
coach.
Okay.
For that franchise, that's the season that the Raiders are having right now, for him to come in as an interim head coach, get a big win. I know it's the Giants, I get it, but they handled business. They did what they were supposed to do. So congratulations to him to getting his first win. My dud is that raggedy team in the state of Georgia that I refuse to give my time and energy to at this point. They have to earn my respect back. What other team in the state of Georgia plays?
There's no other team in the state of
Georgia. They don't even deserve for me. I don't even want to say their name. They have to earn that right for me to even say their team.
They who shall not be named.
That raggedy ass team in the state of Georgia. That's my dud.
All right. Well, you said it, so
That's
dope.
Somebody gonna give Josh Dobbs a stud, but we just gonna leave it at the Falcons being
I wish somebody would give Josh Dobbs a stud. I wish we gonna have one less person on the show Thursday. Somebody give him a stud.
Well, we already said ours. You want me to change mine?
I was hoping you would have said Josh Dobbs so that I could just say CJ Stroud and we could keep it pushing. I'm not trying to have any fights, so I'm gonna leave it alone. I ain't trying to get into no arguments today. I'm just trying to
great job. Great job. Do what you need to do. All right, that's all.
Who's your stud?
I'm gonna go with Tank Dell.
That's good. That's a good stud.
I think that Tank Dell may be. He should be definitely thought of as offensive rookie of the year. Who's not a quarterback?
No.
Who's not?
Is that also a quarterback award?
No.
Nah, because Puka Nacua?
No.
We just ain't gonna give him that.
I do love Puka, but I said thought of. I didn't say handed
He simmered
to him.
down because Stafford hadn't played, or he didn't play last week.
But he still had like 80 yards.
Guys, all I said was he should be in the conversation.
No.
I ain't giving him the
I'm
award.
saying Puka simmered a little bit, but he's still up there.
He should have been.
Who would you guys give the offensive rookie of the year award to? Well, you said Puka. Oh, you said sure. I said not quarterback.
Oh, not
that's literally what.
It's hard for me to say. Like it's there's no non-quarterback that's killing it right now. I mean, Tank had one great game, but
Tank's been doing this all season.
Not like that.
I have him on fantasy. That's
he was concussed. He missed the game.
Yeah,
and
not like that.
He missed a game. He had 2 straight games where he got below 50 yards.
He had 130 and a touchdown. a couple weeks ago, if I'm not mistaken.
He also had a couple games where he was non-existent.
For sure.
So
Like I said, like it's fine. He played good, but rookie of the year. So
Non-quarterbacks. I don't want to get
He
into
is-
even non-quarterbacks, I gotta
200-yard games.
I gotta say no.
4 touchdowns. Got what?
I'm
Quick
saying.
math.
I don't know. Maybe
He's got
I
three.
put Zay Flowers.
He's got 3 games where he was
You
held
put
to.
Zay Flowers over Tank.
He's
this
got
season?
he's got 3
No,
games.
not for offensive rookie of the year.
He's got
That's
3
all.
games. He's
Why?
got 3 games
One
where he
pass.
was held to 30 yards or less.
No, he
60
hasn't.
yards.
Zay just had a game where you had
So-
5 catches, 19 yards. What did he have last week? He didn't have last week.
I want to let me ask you guys this.
I'm a Zay guy.
I want to pose this
You gonna
question
die
to you
in that
before we move on to our Monday night matchup. Do you guys think? I hate to ask this
Zay
question
had 1
because
catch,
this sounds like a casual. This sounds like a question that a casual would pose.
1 touchdown.
But do you think the Panthers are looking at this and saying,
No 100-yard game.
"Damn,
Oh, they should have got CJ instead.
I think it's too
I
early to tell.
mean, yeah, but I think CJ. I think D'Amico Ryans has done a great job.
I hate this question because
I- no,
again,
no,
this
but-
sound,
but-
but it feels like
But I think D'Amico Ryans has done a great job of elevating the whole franchise. Because we can say that, yeah, like CJ Stroud is doing phenomenal, which he is.
They traded for Larry
But-
Tunsil the year before.
But what I'm saying is everybody on this Houston Texans team has played better than what we expected. And I think that's for D'Amico Ryans and the way that his staff has been contributed to that success. I think the thing with the Panthers is they just haven't had it to where the whole organization has come up. They're still down where they were, whereas D'Amico Ryans came in, and it seems like the Texans are back to what the Texans was with Deshaun Watson in terms of morale and like we have a chance type of feel. Whereas the Panthers are just
They
like,
got their swagger back.
yeah, it's like Panthers are just like,
Know who they are.
we're still the Panthers. But the Texans feel like they're not the usual Texans that we're used to seeing 2 years in a row. So I think that's kind of been the difference is I think if Bryce Young was in the same situation that CJ Stroud is in, he would be playing better. Not as good as CJ Stroud is right now, but I think he'd still be playing better. And I think CJ Stroud wouldn't be playing as good with the Panthers, even though he wouldn't be playing bad.
I just want to,
But-
I want to plant this seed real quick before we go to the Monday night thing. They're projected. The Texans are projected to have $75 million in the offseason, next offseason cap space.
Yeah, they and think they don't have a
Question
first.
is, what are they going to do with
They don't have a first round pick.
What do you think they should do with it? Or should
We
they
got
go
one.
with
It
it?
depends on who's in free agency.
Spread it.
It just depends.
Because
on
a part of me is like, oh, I can see T. Higgins going down there.
That was my
But
first
then I was like,
thought,
but
too.
do you need T? That was where my brain exactly.
That's
I was like, what do you do with this money?
Noah Brown
Because
just had a great game.
I'm like, you have a bunch of young, talented
I'm
guys. who are
looking
coming
for
up.
I'm looking for a stud middle linebacker to anchor my defense.
Yeah, honestly, everything will probably go on defense.
But you can get that. I mean, I would. You can.
they don't
draft
have their
that.
first or second round pick.
Oh, they don't have their second
Because
either.
because
Okay, never mind. I thought they had their second.
Yeah, Will
Because
Anderson.
they
costs
traded
a
and
lot.
go back up to get Will Anderson.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely looking at that. I'm looking at a guy right there to be my quarterback of the defense. I may be looking for another.
So you're just talking about boosting the defense.
another defensive tackle.
You're
Probably,
saying let the offense grow and just boost the defense.
Yeah, because everybody on offense is young other than the offensive line.
I would.
They haven't run the ball well. I don't know.
Pierce
if
has
it's-
been hurt though.
He has been. I don't know because he looked productive last year. Yards,
Use a third round and get a running back.
You could go get a running back.
I mean, they
something like that.
got two.
Singletary is playing.
They got Singletary,
That's number
Pierce.
two.
Now
That's
you
what
got
I said.
you gotta get another one.
His ceiling is capped.
I don't believe in.
He's a number two.
What about Pierce?
No, but Pierce, he has shown that he can't stay healthy, which is why I said go and get another running back because he doesn't seem to be able to stay on the field.
So just be running back by committee then at that point.
I think you do roll the dice on a guy like T. Him, Nico,
And Tank.
and Tank.
And yeah,
With
yeah.
Dalton Schultz at tight end. It
I like
could
that.
work.
I got
I like that.
that might be my favorite next year in the AFC South.
Off rip. I don't care about the defense season.
Yeah, I'm not
Go
saying-
put
I'm
on
not-
the
because-
We're expecting them to do
Because I'm
something.
expecting them to do. I'm expecting D'Amico Ryans to take that young defense. Who, I mean, yes, they gave up some plays, they gave up some yards, they've looked a little bit vulnerable, but they're also
Defense
super
is thing.
young
I
everywhere.
mean, the whole team.
The whole team is super young.
If they can build this thing right and keep it on track, they can be a very serious problem for years to come.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Especially
Like
what the
more
Texans were
serious
before.
than
with Watson.
no, not even Watson, even with Carr.
Carr. Derek.
No,
David,
thank you.
they were never
They were
serious.
never
They were. I always felt like they always had one of the top offenses
But
with Johnson and Carr.
That was Shaw.
No, that was not Shaw.
Shaw, sorry, thank you.
And
My
even
bad,
they
my
still,
bad.
even they still weren't that good.
No,
They had a really good
they were
offense with
good,
Shaw.
but
And they never did anything in the
They didn't do
playoffs.
In the playoffs, yes.
And they did. They
Didn't do anything with Watson
they-
in the playoffs.
No, they made it to the AFC Championship. No, AFC.
No, they made it to the division round.
Yeah.
That's when they
Yeah, they went.
that division round. That's when they blew that
Yeah.
24 lead to the Chiefs.
I'm about to say when they had Arian for a hot second, Andre.
Yeah, see, that's
That-
what I'm thinking about.
that was
like
like
to me, that was
years.
prime
3
Texans.
years.
They had that
Nah.
one. They had that one small window where they had Andre and D Hop.
Yeah.
Oh,
That-
They
that-
still
that's-
never won anything.
That's the
They still
part
didn't
that
do
I
it.
think about.
They still didn't.
But I'm
do
saying Deshaun Watson is the only one that you can see that they won the playoff.
Monday night. What we got?
All
Chiefs,
right.
Chargers, Jets.
I want to also acknowledge. I think Baker played the best game of his season. I was actually impressed with Baker being able to go back. I mean, he was going back and forth with the rookie, but he was still making some plays that I was like, I see you, Baker.
I thought about
I'm
him being
gonna
my
give
guy.
him a
If they would
little
have
love.
won, I probably would have made him my guy.
Yeah, like he just got outplayed by
Yeah,
CJ, a better talent. So I'm just like, touche. So anyway, let's go ahead and get into this. I'm gonna automatically just start off and say I chose the Jets
I did too.
to win this game.
Yeah, I chose.
I think that Herbert's in for a rude awakening. In this one, it's gonna be nasty.
I
It's
think
gonna be nasty.
It's gonna have to be an Austin Eckler game. For the Chargers. For the winners.
well the
That's
Jets
because they don't run the ball well.
they don't run the ball well, but the Jets are they are suspect in run defense.
Well, we said that about the Cowboys, and the Cowboys stopped the Chargers.
And it's tough because they don't have Palmer neither, so they're running with Keenan and Quentin. Who are the other
Quentin
receivers? Then they got Parnham and
Yeah, Quentin Johnson about to be a non-factor, so
He's
it's
always
key now.
What you mean
Yeah,
about
so-
to be? He's
Well,
he's
what
been
is
checked.
On Sauce, so it's like, I mean, that's
That's
tough.
I-
Sauce
I
is going to be
I think
on. If they do it right, Sauce should be on Quentin Johnston, and then they.
I think the
Double
Chargers.
up.
I think the Chargers may be able
Yeah,
to make a couple
interesting.
plays
Yeah.
early, but I think as the game wear on, I think as the game goes on, that Jets defense is just going to wear down Herbert in that offense, and I think they're going to be the reason why they win. Would not be surprised if we see Garrett Wilson have a nice game here tonight. That Chargers defense, and especially in the secondary, they can give up some plays.
Zach
for
Wilson
sure.
may have his best game of the season.
Whew.
You know what?
they're susceptible.
I don't think so.
Oh, you think Chargers defense just going to
They-
hold up?
They're gonna hold up. It's gonna be a close game. I think it's gonna be. I'm gonna say 20-14. Chargers. I mean, not Chargers, but Jets. 2014 Jets.
I'm going 24-6.
Damn.
Oh,
But you don't have to
I think it's. I think it might be.
Maybe 9.
I think we might. I wouldn't be surprised if we get a weird, funky score. I'll take the Jets 24-19.
I was gonna say 23-17 Jets.
So we're all on the Jets.
We're all on
Yeah.
Jets.
So that means the Chargers are going to win.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Whoa.
That adds up.
Nah, guys.
Hey,
We're
we're not-
smart people in this room.
We're not like our counterparts. We know that.
It's just to me. Okay, so
What do the Chargers have to do in order to win? Since we're all that high on the Jets, what do the Chargers have to do?
Herbert has to be the
Forced
best
turnovers.
quarterback in the NFL.
You have to force turnovers.
Herbert has to be the best quarterback in the NFL.
In the NFL,
In the NFL.
I think forced turnovers is the
It's
more
the key.
reasonable expectation.
Because he's not going to be super crazy in this game. We know this.
And
In order,
he would have to be.
No,
But
because
I think it's really just getting Eckler in
if
position.
they force turnovers so where they don't have to drive the field, they can score.
I'll take
Do you
a chunk.
think-
But this defense, you can't just keep
Do
gobbling.
you think Herbert's better than Mahomes?
No.
No,
Do you think Herbert's better than Allen?
no.
Do you think Herbert's better than Jalen?
Nope.
All right. Well, then this is why I say you need to be the
That's-
best quarterback in the NFL.
To me-
Because if you're not
to-
better than the best in the NFL who struggle,
I'm
you're not winning
with
the
you.
game.
No, but the reason why though is
struggled
if
And I'm
all,
just saying for one game.
No,
I'm not
no,
saying for this one game.
but the thing about
Who's
it though
best in the
is
NFL?
in those 3 games they were +3 in turnovers.
Who?
The Jets.
Yes.
So
I
what
know.
I'm saying is the Chargers need to be the ones forcing the turnovers, not the Jets, because the Jets can't win if they don't.
In
force
addition, I need Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa to, as a tandem, do something, please.
I don't think I've heard.
I mean, Khalil Mack did have one 5-sack
six
game.
sacks.
Well, no, but I'm saying I'm talking about. I need a game where they take over as a duo. We're always getting this one-off game where one guy has a great game, the other one. I need them collectively. That's what they were brought in for, collectively as a duo.
Yeah.
You be able to do that. Get to Zach Wilson. Give Herbert shorter fields. Then I think the Chargers may get a win.
I think the Jets are the ones who are going to have the shorter fields, which
And
is why
which
I'm
could-
gonna have
yeah.
them. That's the only reason I have.
But
them winning over 20
me.
points.
That's me saying.
That's the only way they won.
But that's my.
They don't even have Quentin Johnson starting.
Yeah.
They got
So,
Guyton in there.
Did we lose? Did we lose him? What happened? Oh,
Nah,
came
nah,
back.
nah.
Came back.
Oh, you
Okay, I
you
thought
funny.
we
No,
lost
we're
connection.
here.
No
But,
technical difficulties.
that's what I feel the Chargers have to do in order to win this game tonight. That defense, especially that duo, that pass rushing duo, they gotta take over. Seriously, they gotta be the best players on the field tonight.
Yeah.
All right, ladies and
That's
gents, and all kinds, please like and subscribe. Thanks for joining us for
Said I
another
need it.
Monday night
Draco
countdown.
undefeated.
Get your block and then I bleed it.
We'll be back on
on
Thursday
I've got words.
for Thursday countdown.
Mm.
So please join us again. Always, again, comment. Tell us how you like things. From me, Cordell.
Marcus.
D-Rob.
Deuce. Hold us accountable. Check us if we need it.
Thank y'all. Y'all be safe. Be breezy.
What we do?
Oh shit. Oh my bad. I didn't do